Hi everybody, it's John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Soul Calibur 5, grabbing the War Veteran achievement. This is to beat arcade mode on hard, so make sure you head into online play, go to arcade. You want to make sure you set the route as Asia, because there is another achievement to beat the arcade mode on Asia, and also because Europe mode has some pretty hard boss characters. And set the difficulty to hard. Alright, the character we will be using is going to be Hildy, because she has a move we can use to beat all of the super cheap AI. And your basic strategy for this mode is to back up to the edge of the arena in every single fight, and then hit left trigger, which is the throw button, and you want to throw all your opponents out of the ring. So this is super broken, because you can beat almost every single opponent like this, even with the super cheap AI. So just keep backing up to the edge of the ring, just hit left trigger, flip them out, and you get very easy wins this way. So here we go again, just back up once you have your back to the edge and your opponent's close enough, left trigger, flip them out, easy wins. And we are going to repeat this for every single fight. There is about 10% or so of the fights where we can't do this, and I'll point them out later in the video. But yeah, pretty much every single fight you can just use that ring out method, except for the second fight, because the second fight has no ring outs, because it's walled off. So this fight you actually have to try, but with Hildy, just use her reach advantage and you should be able to destroy the second person. He's not too tough because he's an early fight, but just get through it. Use throws whenever he gets too close, you know, typical fighting game cheesing. Abuse throws, abuse your specials, and abuse your long reach, and you should be good. So as you can see here, it's going to use the pokey stick move as well as throw some kicks in. It's going to be super cheap, and this is probably the only fight that requires any skill, with the exception of the last boss fight, which is super tough as well. So try to get through this fight. It's doable because it's early on and the AI isn't super duper cheap yet, not until fights 3 and onward, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So just try to get through this dude, and as you can see, just gonna use Hildy's long reach, throw a special in whenever we can, and just make sure you do that. As you can see, I managed to go 3-0 for him. Alright, once the third fight starts, just repeat your method, just back up to the corner, and then let them come to you, left trigger, flip them out, and you get the easy win. And same thing with the other 2 rounds. So round 2, back up, and wait till they come in, left trigger, easy win, super duper easy. And this makes an otherwise very hard achievement very doable. So here we go, round 3. Once again, same thing. Left trigger. Sometimes you'll miss because you did it too early or not close enough to the edge. In that case, just try to realign yourself. You can lose rounds. This achievement is to just beat it on hard. You can even use continues if you want. So this achievement isn't too rough. It's just the AI is super cheap and hard to get through. But thanks to this move, that evens out the playing field in our favor. But for these battles right here, they get a little tough, especially against Yoshimitsu and Maxi, but they have the same weakness. As long as you just back up to the edge, ring them out. Sometimes you might accidentally get a ring out yourself, like they'll hit you and you'll go tumbling in, which is where the majority of my losses came from. But I was able to get through the whole arcade game up to the final fight without using any continues. So this is way doable for you, especially since I suck at fighting games. So just keep doing it. Here we go. Fighting Maxi on the pirate ship. Just back up to the edge. Let him come to you and ring him out. And you might want to throw your guard up a bit since you don't want to KO. But once they get close enough, just hit that left trigger of doom, and you can knock them out super duper easy. And the first 5 fights is a cakewalk compared to the last fight. I probably was stuck on this for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, the last boss fight's against Keelik. So this guy pretty much blocks all our grabs. So what you want to do is you want to be super aggressive in the beginning. So I use Hildy's pokey stick move, and I just try to ring him out the same, but he gave us a lot of trouble later on. He switches his weapon and fighting style every single round, so you have to try to mix it up a bit. But this strategy we've been using earlier does not work, where you just back up and left trigger, he will destroy you. It will work sometimes, but he pretty much guards 90% of all throws. So my best advice is to be super aggressive early on, and then try to use the left trigger move very sparingly, only when you have to. As you can see here, he will absolutely destroy you because he's super duper cheap. But managed to get through him eventually. It takes a lot of tries, but don't give up. He will go down eventually. So here we go. We're 2-1 right now. He's going to destroy me with his maxi style, and he will definitely kill us. So we'll throw a special in there to try to even out the odds, but we're not going to get very far because we're at a sliver right here, and he's just going to KO us because he can. Alright, 2-2. You're going to be in this situation a lot. Very stressful situation. But in desperation, you can still try to go for that ring out. It still does work on him, just very seldom. So we're going to try to just throw some guard up and then try to get the move. And we got it off at the corner. There you go. It still works. You can ring him out with that, and after you get through him, you will get your achievements and beat arcade mode on hard. You also get the achievement for beating arcade mode through the Asia route, which is called Perfect Trainee for 20 gamer score. But there is War Veteran. It's going to be for 40, and that's all there is to it.